Good morning and happy Monday. Welcome to another episode with myself, Zamil Solanki, on Tea with Z. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zamil Solanki. I'm based in Brisbane. I'm a pharmacist by trade, but now I do health entrepreneur and coaching for all health entrepreneurs because my purpose is to help health entrepreneurs succeed, whether or not that's on your personal journey or on your professional journey as well. So if you haven't got your hot beverage, once again, make sure you grab your hot beverage. And we'll kick it off this Monday morning. So I hope you had an amazing weekend. For those of you in Sydney, though, and I guess greater New South Wales now, and also in Victoria, our hearts definitely go out to you. Um, Unfortunately, things aren't, I guess, looking too good in, I guess, the COVID situation there. And I guess what I really wanted to do is, really talk to you guys today, really talk because, we're based in Brisbane and we're quite blessed. We were able to catch up with some people and some friends and things like that over the weekend. And while there are some restrictions in place, definitely nowhere near the level of lockdowns and restrictions that parts of our country are facing at the moment. And it's quite devastating. When you see the impact and the toll on of COVID on just the mental health and well-being, but also on the ability to socialize and to normalize. I guess the conversation even around COVID. We've still got a long way to go. And when we look at that, uh, that pathway that we're still on, and the result of COVID on the journey of health entrepreneurship and our life, when we look at the impacts it's had, we've got to really wonder and go, well, are we entering these issues and challenges and adversities in our life with a growth mindset or a pessimistic mindset? And to me, those are two sides, a growth mindset or a pessimistic mindset, two sides of the same coin, but will have dramatic impacts and outcomes as to what comes from that. When we look at it from our own self, on our own health entrepreneurial self, or even on our own well-being self, or even in our businesses, for example, when we're faced with issues or challenges or adversity, what type of mindset are we taking into that? Are we taking a mindset of pessimism, where it's too hard? It's whatever, I can't deal with it. It's too hard. It's just going to be too challenging, and whatever happens will happen. And you know what? Just kind of giving up, or remaining at the status quo and just going, look, there's adversity right now. There's adversity. So what do? I just stick with what I've been doing. She'll be right. She'll be right. And very quickly we realize that we haven't adapted or innovated or changed. And, the buzzword of COVID, I must say, was pivot. And pivot, the word pivot came about of the needing to adapt and change. And the businesses that have done that very, very well, and even on our own health entrepreneurial journey, whether or not we haven't been able to attend our local gym, we haven't been able to open our gym, being gym owners, we haven't been able to open our physio clinics or engage in our normal practices for health routine. We haven't been able to go outside and exercise. If with a pessimistic mindset, we just sat on the couch and gone, it's too hard. However, those that have grown and innovated, and we've seen some amazing stories over this past 18 months with fitness classes being run off neighboring rooftops for other buildings, and then participating in fitness classes off balconies. We've seen amazing things where people have come about of going, look, we're not going to remain in the status quo. We need to look at things differently, and rather looking at issues and adversities and challenges, what opportunities can we now get out of the situation that we're in? And that, to me, is the definition of the growth mindset, is when faced with issues, with challenge, with adversity, we don't look at them with those labels. From a growth mindset perspective, we look at them as opportunities. And by looking at them as opportunities, rather than things that are detrimental to our business, detrimental to our own personal journey, we're able to really start to hit home what is important. What advantages can we now take in our own journey, in the journey of our business, in the journey that we take our team and talent on? What advantages can we look for that others aren't? What things can we do differently while other people sit in a pessimistic mindset and go, no, it's too hard. It's too hard. We can't do it. And at the end of the day, let's just leave it and it will normalize. It will be okay. And when we look at that, not even in times of COVID, if we look at that in times of any sort of change, we've seen, particularly in the pharmacy industry over the past 10 to 15 years, we've seen massive disruption in the industry. And my question to you is, and it's not just the pharmacy industry, we're seeing it now in optical, we're seeing it in dental, where insurers, large insurers, are starting to play the game now, starting to channel their own patients and customers within that game. And when we look at that, if we sit back and go, oh, you know what, it's too hard, what do you expect the outcome to be? What do you honestly expect the outcome to be? And this is the real interesting question I had. And I was just, chatting with another company recently, and I was on their podcast, and that podcast is dropping pretty soon. And I was chatting to them about that, and they use, like they referred to the dirty word of some big box discounters, and I challenged that straight away on the spot because I looked at that and I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we ourselves were them, we would be laughing right now. The reason that we hold resentment, just generally, I personally don't hold any resentment to them, and that might be extremely controversial saying that right now, but I don't, because at the end of the day, I'm a consumer of Bunnings. And by being a consumer of Bunnings, what's the difference? I don't know one other pharmacy owner that doesn't go to Bunnings. So for me, what's the difference? Whether or not that's controversial or not, I'm calling it how it is. Because at the end of the day, the market has shifted, and whether or not we like it or not, it is the fact, it is the state of play that we're in. And you can either see that as issues, challenges, or adversities, or you can see that as an opportunity to change your own game. And when we look at the impacts and the devastation of COVID-19 and the impacts of lockdown right now and what's happening in the world, are you using these challenges, issues, adversities to play the same game? To go, it's too hard? Or are you looking at these challenges, issues, adversities to change the game, that you're playing, to look at how you can better serve your community, how you can better embrace what is happening to step above and beyond what others are doing in the market? And it is with that mindset that you will not only survive what is going on right now, but you will thrive. And I can hand on heart tell you that, because that is exactly what we've done in our business. That is exactly what we've done. Is when there was significant challenges placed on our lap. To give you some context, we were one of 13 pharmacies within a 3-kilometer radius, including 2 big box discounters within 500 meters of us, turning over in excess of about 25 to 30 million combined. And if I went even in the mindset of going, I just need to survive this, I just need to survive, that would have had dramatic impacts on the outcomes and the ability to achieve what we did. But flipping that script and having the notion to go, look, no, I don't want to just survive this. I want to thrive. I want to thrive. I want to own my piece of the pie, my piece of the market, my piece of the entrepreneurial journey and looked at those issues, challenges, and adversities and go, what are the opportunities? Where do the opportunities lie in that? And that's my challenge to you is during these times of hardship, and we're nowhere near the end yet. We're nowhere near the end yet. Is take stock of where we are now. Take stock of where we are now and where you are now and find where the opportunities lie. Because trust me, you dig deep enough and there'll be amazing opportunities there. But you need to take the time out to do that. You need to take the time out to do that. And you might be wondering, how on earth am I going to have time to do that right now? It could be just 5 minutes in a day. All it is looking at your business right now and going, what is working really well and what isn't. And whatever is working really well, how can we make that even better? And what isn't working very well, well, why? Why isn't it working better? And just keep asking yourself why until you get to that root cause and then change the game. And this doesn't have to be hours each day. This could be a 5-minute process. A 5-minute process where you've explored what's happened in the day with your team. And then you're setting yourselves up, you're taking those lessons, you're setting yourselves up for the following day. We don't do that. We don't do that even as our own health entrepreneurial journey. Why didn't I wake up this morning and go to the gym? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? Why didn't I? What was the root cause of that? Okay, now tomorrow I change the game. Why is it that I didn't execute a goal this week? Okay, review, debrief, change the game. When we also look at, I guess when we are faced with adversity and issues and challenges, my biggest tip to flip that script extremely quickly, because it's very easy to start telling us a story, telling ourselves a story, an internal code about our self-worth and our self-belief when it comes to issues and challenges within our business that we aren't simply good enough. And when I'm talking about business, I'm talking about our own health entrepreneur journey as well, because we're in the business of our health. That's by definition what health entrepreneurship is. And the easiest way to flip the script is by doing one thing, is practicing some form of gratitude. And we're chatting with some friends over the weekend about this. And they're having, or some loved ones are having some challenges along their own health entrepreneur journey. And with those challenges, the opportunities are struggling to be recognized. But through the power of gratitude and knowing, well, wait a minute, there is so much other things to be grateful for right now, that we can flip the script and start to identify those opportunities to capitalize on areas of our life that we're grateful for. Because regardless of how much adversity, issues, challenges, whatever it might be on our own health entrepreneurial journey, I can guarantee you'd still have something to be grateful for. Even if it's as simple as living and breathing right now. And in this COVID world, if that's something not to be grateful for, I don't know what is. So gratitude. Now, how do we define gratitude? And we can deep dive into this later in the week, but where do we get gratitude and how do we start recognizing that? And the simplest form to do that and to recognize opportunities within our own health entrepreneurial journey, the simplest way to do that is just by writing it down. Is just by dumping your thoughts onto a page and taking that time to reflect and to acknowledge what you're grateful for, to start to flip that internal coding, to start to flip that internal script from pessimism to growth. And by doing that, by flipping that script, we can then change our mindset from a pessimistic mindset to a growth mindset. By flipping that script, we can start to look for the opportunities within our business, within our own health entrepreneurial journey, to not only just allow us to survive but to thrive. And that for me is the key message here is, are you in the game right now to survive? Are you in the game to survive through COVID and all the challenges and issues and adversities it presents? Or are you here to thrive through it? And to me, those are two huge differences. And all it does is change from pessimism to growth. But you've got to do that work. You've got to do that work not only for yourself, but for your team. You've got to do that work with your team. Your team need to do that work not only for the business that they're in, but for themselves, to allow them to see that they're part of something bigger as well. That why they are pushing as hard as they are right now, why they are overcoming the challenges that they are right now. And you can do it. You can do it. My heart goes out to those that are experiencing these challenges right now. My final thoughts is you can do it. You aren't in this game to survive. You're in this game to thrive. Take stock of what you have right now, journal it, recognize what you're grateful for, and flip the script. Because in everything that you are doing right now, every challenge and issue and adversity that you are presented with right now, trust me, there lies an opportunity. And with that opportunity is the pathway to thrive. So that's it from me today. Pretty full on topic for a Monday morning, but something that I really wanted to touch base to set you up for this week and to really start empowering you to reflect on this topic, not only for today, but for tomorrow, but actually for every single day of your health entrepreneurial journey. Because to me, these are the foundations, and that's what we're covering off with T with Z is the foundations. Because without these foundations, we don't have that slab to then build our frame and then put a nice roof over, fit it out, whatever our health entrepreneurial house looks like. So change the game. You're not in this game to survive. You're in this game to thrive. And Chucky, mate, and this guy is a dead set legend. Chucky, good morning, mate. Good morning. Mate, this is a guy that I've just seen started to smash out his own health entrepreneurial journey. And I'm absolutely loving seeing your progress, mate. So he's in this game to not only survive, but to thrive. And it's so important. It's so important that we take stock of this. Use this from a place of gratitude. Flip the script, and you've got this. Have an amazing, amazing day. T with Z. Now, remember, shout out just quickly to the Limitless Network. The Limitless Network is a group of like-minded health entrepreneurs in a peer-supported network. Now, if you haven't joined the Limitless Network yet, or if you haven't even extended the invitation to your friends and family or your loved ones, even your team, that really are starting to own their own health entrepreneurial journey and realizing that in some way, shape, or form, if we value health, if we truly value health, we are health entrepreneurs in our own right. And so feel free to extend this invite over to them as well, but also to yourself. You know, if you're watching now, or if you're watching this as a replay, it's a great way to connect with like-minded people, and the group's starting to get some traction now, which is awesome. And we deep dive into a topic exclusively for this group each Friday morning with exclusive Tea with Z. So jump on that. That's where we'll be on Friday. But other than that, folks, have an amazing day. Flip the script. Look forward to seeing you not only survive these challenges, but to thrive through them. All the best now. Have a great day. Bye.